morning and welcome to another episode of Veterans View right here in Phoenix City, Alabama. My name is Leroy Davis Jr. and I am your host today of Veterans View. I am a retired Navy Chief Petty Officer, and today we have a special guest from the state of Alabama, from our capital city, Kent Davis, the Commissioner of the Alabama Department of Veteran Affairs. And I'm going to call you Admiral if you don't mind. Admiral, would you tell us a little something about yourself? And because you have an interesting military career. So could you tell us something first?
Absolutely, Leroy. First of all, I want to say that last name, you must be a brilliant man.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm proud to be an Alabamian and a veteran. I spent 30 years in uniform. I was born in Montgomery, Alabama. My dad was from Birmingham. My mom was from South Alabama. My roots are in this state. Happy to come back here after my military service and serve veterans. I served in both the Army and the Navy, believe it or not, on active duty. Retired from the Navy as a Rear Admiral about 4 years ago now. 5 combat zone deployments, 5 years of sea duty. Got to work with the greatest people in the world as far as I'm concerned, and all the military services. You know that as well as I do. And just honored to be able to serve Alabama veterans now.
Great, great. And then your wife is a veteran as well.
She was. She did most of her time in the Navy Reserve, did 21 years, and retired as a lieutenant commander in the Navy.
So, Admiral, can you tell our viewers a little about your job and how you came into it?
Yeah, Leroy, my predecessor, who was also a Navy Admiral, Admiral Marsh, was in the job for 13 years. He got a job with the federal government. They did a search for a new commissioner. I happened to be working at Maxwell Air Force Base at the time as a senior civilian. I had retired from the military, and I ended up applying for the job and was just honored to be selected.
Oh, great.
Our role is completely complementary with the federal VA. A lot of people don't even know that there's an Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. Our 4 missions are: we run state veterans homes, long-term care facilities for veterans. We run a dependent scholarship, which complements the GI Bill, which the federal government runs. We have a series now of 55 veteran service offices around the state, and growing. We're going to open 2 in the next week, as a matter of fact, and they assist veterans directly in those counties. And last but certainly not least, we run a state veterans cemetery down in Spanish Fort, Alabama, which complements the federal VA cemetery system.
Right. I'm very familiar with that one. I've been there and everything.
Beautiful facility.
Oh, yes. Beautiful and got room to grow.
It does.
My organizations, the Russell County Veteran Council, we do veterans applications and everything, and we turn it over to the courthouse there. Once we do it, say, okay, take this down to the VSO office and let them file it for you.
Yeah.
So we try to help them out because they really see a lot of people. And I think they're still serving Barber County too. So they spend time in 2 counties. Or 3 counties actually, because they do Macon too at the VA hospital.
They do.
So they are flexible and they are great at what they do. Now, is there any new program? Now, we just talked about the education system a little bit because I'm very familiar with that because my wife used it and my 2 daughters used it to go to school. Matter of fact, I got one in Alabama State right now utilizing that. Yeah. I'm very proud of that. A lot of states don't do for veterans what Alabama do when it comes to schooling and all the things that you get based on your percentage of disability. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely, Leroy. And you're right. Alabama is very generous. Not all states offer scholarships program like this. So just to clarify, the federal government has the GI Bill benefits, which are for veterans themselves who served and want to go on to school afterwards. Alabama complements that with a scholarship program for the dependents of selected disabled veterans.
Right.
It's a generous program. If you qualify, and you have to apply, and the rules are a little complicated sometimes, but it pays for tuition, fees, and books in any institution of higher learning, public institution in Alabama. That includes colleges, universities, community colleges, and technical schools. That's a great, great benefit for dependents of veterans as a thank you for service. And we have over 17,000 students enrolled in that program now.
And that's great when you think about all you end up having to pay is room and board.
That's right.
And any other special needs that your child or your spouse may need. So I thank Alabama for what they do for veterans. And can we talk about the VSOs, how they work with us from the American Legion to DAV, to Veteran of Foreign War, and how they work with you?
Gladly, Leroy. Yeah, this is a great example of partnerships that we've tried to foster over the last year, especially, and working with the veteran service organizations and nonprofit organizations at the community level. A year ago, we had 50 veteran service offices that were based in counties all over the state of Alabama. That's kind of good news, but we used to have an office in all 67 counties. With the budget situation about 10 to 15 years ago, there were shutdowns of some of those offices. So there were 17 counties that did not have a physical office to assist veterans. We're going in the opposite direction now. We've opened 5 veteran service offices around the state this year alone. Next week, we're going to open 2 new offices in Winston County and Lawrence County, going up for ribbon cuttings. That's good news. That's important because they're a direct link between those veterans and the benefits that they've earned through their military service. It can be a little daunting task sometimes to navigate the federal VA claims system.
Yes, sir.
Most people acknowledge that. That's not a slam against the system or the federal VA. We have a great partnership with the federal VA, but a lot of veterans just need a little assistance. We can represent them in the claims process. We can sign a power of attorney. They can choose to be represented by a veteran service organization if they want to, American Legion, DAV. We have a great partnership, and we communicate all the time with those veteran service organizations on how to best serve that individual veteran.
And I always recommend to the veterans in this county especially to choose the American Legion as your representative, because they're going to stay in the courthouse all the time. They work for you. And they, therefore, if you ever lose your paperwork, you can go there and get a copy of it.
That's exactly right. We work every day with the veteran service organizations. I happen to be a member of the American Legion and the DAV. Great partnerships with both of those organizations and many other veteran service organizations, VFW, Marine Corps League. We're all in the business of helping Alabama's veterans in whatever their needs are and their family members. So I'm proud to say our partnerships with all of those organizations has gotten a lot stronger over the last year.
Now, when I signed my daughters up for the benefits for going to school, the rules was quite a bit different than they are now. Can you tell us something about the rule change as far as, like, I put it like this, I had to adopt my 2 granddaughters, which are my daughters now, because my daughter deployed to Afghanistan. So just to make sure that I kept custody of them, and Dad didn't try to get them because I'd have raised them, I adopted them. And that's how they went to school on my benefit. But the rules have changed now. You have to go through DHR now to get your house inspected or get everything. Can you talk about that?
It has gotten a little more complicated. And the first thing I want to say, Leroy, is if there is a veteran or dependent out there who thinks they may qualify for this dependent scholarship program, please contact your veteran service organization or our veteran service officers in the counties. They can help you with those individual applications. That's really important because the rules can be complicated. In 2014 and 2017, the state legislature changed the rules governing that dependent scholarship program. Right now, we're kind of in a grandfather period. The disability rating eligibility has been raised from 20% to 40%. But we're in a grandfather period right now. So again, it can be a little confusing. I urge people, go visit those experts that can help you with the individual application. We have had a lot of questions come in from veterans, and we do a lot of explaining of here's when the rules changed. It was a state legislature decision. I've also told people if you have concerns about how the program is run, contact your state legislature and let your concerns be known to them.
Yes, sir. And when you talk about that grandfather period, that means when that period is at, it can go back down to 20 or it can go up higher.
It's going up to 40%. And in 2023, I believe, is when the grandfather period ends, and 40% disability rating will be the minimum requirement to qualify for that.
Okay, so I had the wrong assumption. I thought it was already at 40.
It's going there. Right now, we're in a period where some people with 20% still qualify, but in 2023 it'll go up to 40% completely.
Okay, great. Now, you are aware of a new VA clinic that we're building here in Columbus.
That's a good development.
That's a good development. And, you know, I always try to tell people that when the VA builds a clinic in a location, they're not building it for that one city that they're putting it in. They're building it for 10 counties that surround it.
It's a regional center.
It's a regional for all people from the 10 counties can come to that center and get treatment. And the way it helps the VA to have more money to take care of veterans is it cut down the travel for people. Like here, people don't have to leave here and go to Tuskegee when they can get everything at this clinic. Now, the clinic we have now is small. It don't have everything that this new clinic gonna have.
Right.
This new clinic is gonna have everything. You're only gonna have to go to Tuskegee, Montgomery, or Birmingham only for specialties. You're gonna have a dental clinic here, a female clinic that specializes for females. You're gonna be able to get CAT scans and I mean, it's got so much in it that only thing they have to do is treat you and put you in the hospital. And they'll be able to do everything right there. And even the people who are in wheelchairs or who's on stretchers that come have vans to bring them, they got a special entrance just for them.
Yeah.
They don't have to roll in front of everybody.
Yeah, and Leroy, I think you bring up a good point. I think our brothers and sisters in the federal VA are doing a good job in increasing accessibility for veterans who are in need of medical services. So the federal VA is in charge of the short-term medical needs, whereas we focus in the state on long-term through the state veterans homes. There have been some good developments, even over the last year. You saw the Mission Act passed by the federal government, which gives choice in some cases to veterans to go to private providers. You have new clinics being built, like the one here, which is great. That's a regional center, gives access. But we're also seeing some technological developments like telemedicine, which allows veterans, if they don't need that physical contact, they may be able to deal with a doctor remotely through a virtual setting. That helps a lot, especially in initial cases. So there are some good things going on, I think, that are designed to help veterans, and we're starting to see the benefits of those.
And I've done telemedicine before, and telemedicine is okay with me. The only thing I dislike is they called me the other day and canceled my eye appointment and said, "Do you want to do it by phone?" I said, "How can you give me an eye on the phone?" I said, "No, I'll wait till December." They said, "December, I'll be able to get an eye appointment." I can't see how you can treat my eyes on telemedicine. So
yeah, telemedicine is not an answer for everything. It works in some cases, but sometimes you do need that face-to-face contact with a doctor.
And you know, one of the things I ran into, I stated earlier, I worked for the VA before. I worked for Tuscaloosa VA when I first retired. I worked there for 4 years.
Good center.
And I was in law enforcement. But as a law enforcement, at the VA, you have to be flexible because you have to help get patients out of the cars when they can't get out.
Right.
They drive there, the older veterans, and you put them on a gurney or stretcher and get them into the emergency room. Or we take them when the police bring them in from another county because the judge said, "Hey, take them to the VA." And this one case I had, the guy, he was probably 6'4", and his wrist was probably big as my ankles and stuff. I mean, he was a huge guy. And the police officer's shirt was hanging out their pants and everything. And when I come around to the reception area to get the guy, I say, "Hey man, y'all just wait right here. We got to take these handcuffs off him. We don't march veterans around with handcuffs on." They said, "You know how long it took us to get them on him?" I said, "I don't care." I said, "I got him now. He's in my custody." I said, "You gonna be all right?" He said, "Yeah, but I want to get them again." I said, no, we good. And then the nurse came around, of course, with some milk and crackers for him, had put the medicine in it, and he drank his milk and ate his crackers, and he calmed down.
Wow.
But what I'm trying to get to is we have to care more about each other as veterans instead of caring about ourselves as individuals. And if we could fight together and care about each other, why can't we fight together for these clinics that we're building instead of we have one group of veterans over here who want it to be more convenient for them than the other veterans in those 9 counties surrounding that one county that the clinic is in.
You're right, Leroy, and I remind Alabamians, look, veterans are upstanding citizens. They generally have lower unemployment rates. They're involved civically. They are valuable members of the community. There are 400,000 veterans approximately in Alabama. That's about 1 in 10 Alabamians almost is a military veteran. We are an important part of the population. At the same time, there are some unique needs for veterans, and it's important that we do stick together. Not only those who have served, those who are still serving. We've got a lot of active duty military in the state, and a lot of our needs and our concerns are similar. It is important that we have organizations like the Veteran Service Organizations to look after all of those interests. We deal with some at-risk issues with veterans that need some special attention. Mental health issues. Sometimes, as you know and I know, having served in combat zones, sometimes the physical and mental delayed effects of combat zone deployments, they take a while to show up.
Oh, yes.
And it's important that we stick together and support each other.
And we have a program here. I helped started it. I'm no longer with it, but we do it at the VA, and it's called Vet to Vet. Each one reach one and teach one. And that program is still working so good. And when it's a 45-minute sit-down communication type class. It's not a class, but it's just a group session. And you go in, but only somebody can go into that meeting is a veteran.
That's good.
So the doctors can't come in, nurses can't come in unless they are a veteran.
There is that kinship. When you're dealing with an issue, it's a brotherhood, sisterhood when you're dealing with another veteran, because they can uniquely understand where you're coming from and help you through issues, guide you through whatever issues you're facing.
Yeah, in 2000, I want to say 2005, 2006, we started in Tuskegee saying, hey, you got a Vietnam veteran group, you got a World War II veteran group, you got a Korean War. We're all veterans. We're going to stop that. We're going to all come together and have a group session and stop separating veterans. And it worked. And it's been going good ever since. And when a veteran comes in and he may be out of medication, he's acting out or whatever, or she may be acting out, we can take them straight in to the doctor. When we hold our group sessions, we have an open door policy that you can take that veteran straight in.
Yeah, there is strength in numbers, and there's a comfort in dealing with other veterans clearly, and we need to look after each other.
And I think we need to continue to support that group also. Like I said, I'm no longer a part of that now because I'm doing other things with Veterans Court and running the Russell County Veterans Council and the Chattahoochee Valley Veterans Organization. So we're trying to do everything we can to continue to serve in our community. But is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Abner, before we go to another break?
I do want to share this. You know, the last few months have created a lot of challenges, Leroy, with COVID-19. We never shut down. We kept operating. All of our services were available to veterans. We've tried to think outside the box to continue our services. And I just want to stress to all veterans, we are here to serve you. We have no ulterior motive beyond that service to veterans. So please contact us. The best way to do that is through your county-based veteran service officer. We're here to help.
Yeah, and you can see those county-based veteran service officers at our courthouse where you get your tags in. When you go into the courthouse, you just ask for the VSO office, and the guy at the front desk will direct you straight to him. And you can also just call the Phoenix City Courthouse and ask for the VSO office, and the operator will transfer you to them. So right now we're going to take another break, Admiral, and then we'll resume, and we're going to resume at the site so that we can look at where the new VA hospital clinic is being built. Okay? Well, Admiral, what do you think so far? This is the new site for the VA clinic, and you can see that they're laying down some, I guess you call it pilings for the building to sit on, and they're cleaning and moving everything around.
It's awesome, nice site,
And,
good access.
October, I'm supposed to be here for the ribbon cutting ceremony, so I'm going to invite you to come back in October.
I'll be here
as well for the ribbon cutting ceremony. But this is going to be the new VA clinic for the Columbus area.
It's nice, a beautiful setting.